Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Alessandro Cra
Hello.
from Horrible Games, looking at Railroad Inc., which
Yes.
will come in two versions.
Yes,
From
that's it.
Hjalmar Hawk and Lorenzo,
And Lorenzo
Silva.
Silva, yes.
Yes. So this is a solitaire-ish drawing game, except
except that it's multiplayer.
except it's multiplayer. Well, we each have our own card. Let's say that.
Yes. The game is a sort of pen and paper game, but we will have thick erasable boards in the final product. The goal is to connect these roads here lead to different cities, and your goal is to draw routes, both railways or highways, to connect this city to each other. The more cities you connect, the more points you make, and then you also make points for the longest routes, both for highways and railways, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
The thing is that the available routes are determined by a single roll of these 4 dice each round. So the dice are rolled, and then these are the pieces available to all players for that round. There are 2 rules. You must draw them all, and you always have to connect them to something.
Okay.
You cannot just
Not
draw.
floating in the middle
Yes.
of the floor.
So in this case, for example, I will start to use this piece here with a nice road and a railroad going through. Then I have actually 2 curved streets, and I do something like this, for example, and this, trying to go for the middle part. Drawing backwards is not really easy for me, so sorry. And then I will hope to have a straight later and connect this curve here. I must hope to obtain a straight later. I then mark that this was round 1, so that next round I remember that these are old pieces and not the ones that I am rolling.
Yes, you have to make sure you draw all
yes.
4 for each time.
Yes. Then all players would use these same symbols, but you don't see what the others are doing, and everybody has to try to optimize the way to use them better than the other players to make more points. At the end of the round, when everybody's done, you just roll the dice again. Oh, okay. This is good because I can now connect these 2 pieces. This is done.
These 2, if you want to loop all the way around.
Yes, but if I do this, for example, I would have
Cut off.
isolated those 2 seats. They are connected, but I cannot add more. So maybe it's not the wisest choice. What I could do is to use one of these special symbols here. So if I use, let's say, this, which is a crossroad with railroads, I can do this. I can only use one of these each round, and each one can only be used once in the game, and I can only use up to 3 during the game.
Okay.
So now, if I use this, I have connected these 2 cities, and I am still open to use this. I can use this straight to go on. And with this die, I can connect a route of railways with a route of highways. So maybe now it's a good idea to, let's do this. This way, I will try to connect these 2 cities connected by railway with this route of highways and add more cities to the connection. Yes, and you get the idea.
Okay.
This is the basic version of the game. Then, as we have already said, the game comes in 2 different versions. Each version comes with 2 couples of dice. Each couple of these special dice is one sort of expansion, even if it is already included in the base game, so it's not really an expansion. But the blue one is with rivers and lakes. You roll the 2 dice that you have chosen to use at the same time as the others, and now you have to deal with, in this case, a river too. So you have to draw the rivers. You can only go over the river when the die allows you, so you have to try to work your way over the river, taking advantage of these dice here. Or there is a lake that you have that you must try to close a bit like the Carcassonne cities, and it has roads
docks.
that end
Yes.
yes, the docks. And if you connect one of your networks to the lake via a dock, then all the networks connected to that lake are also connected by ferry. So it may also help you to connect more cities, even if it's difficult to complete the lake.
Okay. So with these, obviously, we're building. I see with the volcano,
Uh-huh.
we have roads still, along with, I guess, lava.
Yes, that's lava and streets. The volcanoes, you must try to close them exactly like Carcassonne cities, but since there are roads, and the number of routes that you have during the game is quite limited. It's difficult to connect all the cities because you have to be efficient.
Yes.
Taking advantage of these routes, even if they are near the volcano, can be an advantage. But then you have your routes near the volcano, so you have to
Okay.
try to
To still close
avoid.
everything.
Yes.
Yes. With the meteor strikes, I
Let me-
see no railways. There's no
No,
roads.
there's nothing because it works in a different way. At the beginning of the game, you consider the starting point to be at the center of the map.
Okay.
Then you roll. One dice will tell you the direction. In this case, for example, is left for one who's those who are looking, and this is how many spaces in that direction. So
Okay.
it's left 3
1, 2,
spaces.
3.
1, 2, 3. Oops. This species is destroyed by the meteor strike now, and I have to try to restore it in the later rounds. If it hits an empty space, that space is now filled with a meteor crater, and nothing can ever be drawn again in that
Okay.
space.
All right.
This is how the meteor strike works. It's a little bit crazy, but it's fun.
All right.
But they give a different feeling to the two versions of the game. The nice thing is that with one single version of the game, you can play from 1 to 6 players. But in this game, the limit of players is just the number of boards that you have. So if you have both boxes, you can play with up to 12 people. And if you have even more boxes, you can play with even more people. And another nice side effect of this is that you don't even have to be at the same table. It's we often play it on the sofa, for example, because you just need one person to roll the dice and then tell, okay, this round we have 3 straight railways and this one. So each one can note that down on their board, and then just, okay, I have made this, I have made one of these, then the second and the third. You can keep track of everything on your board, and one can be playing on the table, one on the sofa, one on the other room, and they just shout, yes. One by Skype. We did this to play test. I was away, so we made a game via Skype.
Okay.
This was, yes.
Okay.
And another thing I should mention is that this is meant to be a really cheap game. We plan to, each version is going to be priced around 15 euros or less.
Okay.
So we hope it will be popular because of these many things.
Thank you, Alessandro.
Thanks to you.